People out there might remember
There's a lot of criminals out there.
Yeah. I guess Manny Ramirez is right.
What?
I didn't kill nobody.
I didn't kill
I didn't kill nobody.
Geez. Oh, Manny.
The Sidney Crosby handshake.
Jeez. Oh, yeah. Into hockey. Right on.
Yeah, what's going on with that? Was that a big deal? The fact that, no?
21 years. They're still messing around with that lock. 21 years old. He just won his first Stanley Cup.
Right.
Man, I would be so elated. I'd be running around. You're looking across the ice, and you see guys that are over 30 years old. They've been in this league. They're warriors, right? They've got their playoff beards. He was excited. He made a mistake. He didn't do it on purpose. They should understand. They have every right to say, Sid, you made a mistake. You have to congratulate the other team for a job well done. In hockey, it's a very big deal because you beat the snot out of a guy. You actually give him cheap shots. You're dirty with him. But in the end, you shake his hand and you say congratulations and or good job. He didn't do this. They have every right to say, Sid, you made a mistake, but they don't have a right to rake him over the coals and say, oh, he did it on purpose and he disrespected us. That's that's BS. He was excited. He won a cup. He made a mistake. Move on.
Okay. But you've got the Detroit Red Wings who, heading into this incident and throughout the playoffs, and you know, there was a lot going on in that series with the Penguins with the cheap shots and what have you. Correct? Yes. And at no point did Detroit whine about any of that. They by all accounts, these are a bunch of guys who don't make excuses, don't talk to the media in bad ways, don't whine or complain. If this group, who has a pretty good reputation for that, goes out of their way to say that he should have come over and shook our hands, isn't there some credibility there? Like if the Red Wings were always whining and complaining, you know what? Those guys are always whining and complaining. But this is a group that doesn't complain about very much.
Sure, but once again, you got to look at what he actually did, and all he did was he got over to shake some hands, but they also left the ice. You know, they left the ice. The kid was excited. He made a mistake.
Okay,
they've brought it to light.
Right, very
very good. They embarrassed him a little bit. Very good. Sid has apologized. Okay, that's it. They lost.
No.
Like, big deal. Quit your whining.
No, it's not. Well,
not you. I'm
right.
talking Lidstrom and Zetterberg and like, who cares? Like, he made a mistake.
Okay.
And I guarantee he won't do it again.
But here's the other thing now. And it's an interesting story because there's a lot of tie-ins.
You're getting me upset, Bill.
I know.
But I'm starting to wake up now. So
yeah,
that's good.
There's a lot of tie-ins to this because as that first tie-in, the Red Wings don't complain very much.
Right.
Second tie-in, Crosby does have a reputation for being contentious, being a whiner himself, getting under guys' skin, and generally being a pretty disagreeable guy. So
where's that come from?
Well, where's that come from? That's his his reputation as a player.
Do you think he's really like that though?
Yeah, I would guess so. If that's the way he carries himself. I mean, you are what you are.
Right. Listen, I'm never really overzealous about any celebrity personality.
Right.
And I actually didn't like Sidney Crosby in the beginning, and it wasn't because of something he did. I was waiting for him to do something.
Right.
Right. Because all this hype. I actually saw him play in Rimouski at their arena. And he didn't do anything. And I was like, oh, who cares about this? So I didn't like him because I had no reason to like him. Then he started playing well. And yes, he was a little bit whiny and a little bit, but that lasted for like 30 seconds in my opinion. I think he gets a hard rap. I think he gets kind of crapped on when he hasn't really done anything bad. There's guys out there who whine more. Avery, Barnaby. The list is endless. He is 21 years old, and he's got the weight of the NHL on his shoulders. I think he's handled it pretty well. The fact that he did make a mistake, he's 21 years old. 21. I mean, he doesn't even know about etiquette in some points of life. You know, there's things that he just doesn't know.
Right.
And being that excited and not shaking a couple of guys' hands, you know, maybe... What about them? Maybe they should have stayed on the ice just for an extra 30 seconds longer. I'm sure it wasn't a 15-minute wait for Sid to come over and shake their hands. But honestly, I really think the kid has gotten a hard knock on his personality, on his the way he handles himself. I think the media has had a lot to do with that because they love building you up and they sure do like tearing you down. So I think the poor guy, I'm not going to say poor guy because, you know, he's taking it. But I think he's doing a pretty good job. So far, so good.
Okay. So now let's take this to the next level. And now the kid just made a mistake.
Yes.
So now he's in the locker room the next day. Things have calmed down. Obviously, he's probably still walking on air a bit, but you got to think things have calmed down a bit. The press interview him and they ask him about this handshake situation, and he admits no wrongdoing, refuses to apologize. Now, is that not a situation where he could have shown a little maturity, shown a little bit of taking the higher road, and said, you know what? I should have. I got caught up in the excitement, and I should have got over there and shake hands. And I apologize to those guys. They played a great series, and it was my mistake. It won't happen again.
Yes, he made a mistake, and he should completely own up to it. I have heard that he has apologized and said
to who? Where
to the team. He never did anything individually.
Right.
I've heard that. I don't know if I'm fabricating that in my own little mind,
did you dream this? Was this
I may have dreamt it, but I heard that he apologized.
One of those early morning dreams.
No, I heard that he apologized to a reporter, but it wasn't an official apology to the organization or to individuals.
Right.
He just said maybe I should have handled it different.
Okay, because
that's an NHL apology.
The only interview I've seen is that he refused to apologize.
All right. Well, someone call us and tell us the dilly. So,
but
I did hear that. But you know what? Someone prove me wrong and or prove me right, please. But yes, he made a friggin' mistake. I can't. And again, I'm amazed that they're still talking about this. Really, because there's bigger things in the NHL to worry about than Sid dissing Lidstrom, Zetterberg, and whoever else.
He didn't kill nobody.
I didn't kill nobody. Banjo music here. Honestly, like seriously, move on.
Okay, no, but
not you, but them.
No,
like that's crazy.
Again, and he made a mistake, but I think, I think he should have taken the opportunity to apologize.
I agree, and that's a 21-year-old attitude.
Right.
Right. No, I'm not going to apologize for anybody. I'm not going to do that.
Here's the thing, too. Now we got so many with Kobe. Well, Kobe's older now, but Kobe was doing incredible things.